Hello! Hello, Chad. What is up? It is Monday. Feels like we've had extra Mondays this week. Feels like every day for the past 5 days has been a Monday. Just wild. But hello, welcome. We are once again back with more Fate's Day Night Remastered for Mythos Monday. Actually on Monday this time. So, that'll be fun. I played Master Detective Raincoat, and I'd like to formally apologize to Danganronpa. Yeah, I've seen that game. I've watched an entire playthrough. I hate that, like, if you watch any of those games, you can't play the games anymore, because the mystery is solved. It's like, you can't go in knowing. That's gonna ruin the experience. But yeah, Raincoat's really good. I like it a lot. Yeah, I know. I've seen the whole thing. The pink blood thing is fucking. No, I love it. It's great. It's fucking hilarious. I love the pink blood plot point. Why are we? Well, come on, but it's funny. It's foreshadowed too, because if you think way back to the first thing that you did in the game, when there's blood on the thing, and it's not pink. It was there. It was regular, plain old red blood. I watched Cinder play it, and Cinder is a big Danganronpa fan. And that was like the first thing she noticed. She was like, "Wait a minute, that blood's not pink. Why is it not pink? It's supposed to be pink." And then it came back later. God, that was such an experience. Maybe one day I'll try Danganronpa. I'd have to play Danganronpa 2 because I watched Danganronpa 1 the end. Well, I watched Danganronpa 1 the anime like when it came out. So I don't know if I remember all of the details, so it might be worth going back and playing it again. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily my cup of tea exactly, but I like the anime well enough, so maybe it'll be worth checking out at some point. They're much better than Raincoat. I don't know. Raincoat looked like fun. Once again, I didn't play it myself, and I don't think I will go play it myself because that's kind of the nature of mystery games. But it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty fun. Also, just like the 3D environment and running around, the adapting the art style from 2D into 3D, it worked out really well. And then they did it again. The same thing in we played it on stream. Tribe 9, yeah. As far as murder mystery visual novels, they are pretty bad. Well, they seem interactive, and I don't know. I haven't done very many murder mystery interactive type things. Eye of the Somnian Files. I hear a lot about Eye of the Somnian Files, and obviously Ace Attorney kind of speaks for itself. Excuse me. And the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, I watched Eric Van Nicholas play a little bit of that. I wasn't able to stay to the end of the stream, but it seemed like it was a pretty genuinely good shitpost. like it seems like it's made up bullshit, but like it turned out to actually be a pretty good game. From what I've heard, from what I've seen, allegedly. But none of those games are what we're playing today. Today, we are playing a different visual novel that is definitely not a mystery. Although, we do have a lot of, like, data on the servants and masters and stuff in that codex or whatever that Ring gave us. Well, that's not exactly the focus of the game. So, today, we will return once again for Day 8 of Fate Stay Night Remastered. Boot up the game and we will swap on over. Hush, hush, hush. Hello, game? There you are. Flashbang! Gah. Everybody lock in for a comfy time. Get your snacks, get your drinks. I don't know, wherever you are in the world, it's cold and snowy here, so... February 7th. Chapter 8, Sword and Magic, Part 2. Last thing that happened to us was getting berated by Archer late in the night. And it seems like we're kicking off the next day without hesitation. See you, Shiro. I'll bring something home, so be good. Fujine waves as she heads out for work. I'm going to get going too. I need to swing by home, so I'll be a little late. I should be back by dinner, though. Don't do anything rash while everyone's gone. Seems we're taking another day off. Alright then. It's 7:30 in the morning. I see the two of them off without incident, so there's only one thing left to do now. Okay, we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. Let's head to the dojo. Let's head to the dojo, Saber. Oh, are we going to begin right away? You have just eaten. Perhaps it would be best to wait a while. Don't worry about that. I've trained myself to the point where stuff like that doesn't affect me. And today's breakfast was bread, right? I don't live an unhealthy enough lifestyle for something like that to affect me. Well, if you insist, I do not mind. Good then. Let's just go. I spent all night coming up with ways to get at least one hit in, so I want to show you the fruits of my labor. Really? Bro thinks one day is going to be enough time to... Okay. One night of image training? I'm unable to dodge Saber's counterattack. Both the Shinai and I tumble to the ground. My fingers tingle where they grip the Shinai. Saber's counterattack lands as I lunge in with all my might. I figured brute force was my only option. No shock that I dropped my Shinai and fell right on my ass after an attack like that. Damn, I thought that would work. Shiro, your expectations were unrealistic. Listen, you will not be able to defeat a servant simply by acting out of desperation. It is one thing to be determined, but you must first consider your opponent. It may be true, but I'll lose if I stay on the defensive. I have to strike if I find an opening. That is true, but you do not understand how to properly utilize that opportunity. If you are to strike so desperately, you must wait for an appropriate opportunity. That goes without saying. I saw you looking away for a brief second that last time. I've only seen you do that maybe one other time, so I thought it was my chance. I applaud you for noticing that and deciding to act, but I looked away deliberately. I did so thinking it would not be sufficient to prompt you to move. I did not expect you to charge straight at me. It's pretty mean, Saber. You shouldn't mock amateurs like that. I was not mocking you. It was simply a ploy, and creating an opening such as that carries with it a degree of risk. However, the risk I take by looking away and the risk you take by charging straight at me are simply not comparable. So what you're saying is that I should be less obvious about seizing an opportunity. If I make a big, obvious attack, I'm squandering the opportunity. You're saying I should be considering the opportunity and acting to suit it. Can I just... I'd like to take a moment, because it's happened twice now in the span of like 2 minutes. They pick a word and they use that word like 3 times in 3 different sentences, all right next to each other. Don't do that. I might have talked about this before, but like they use the word opportunity in 3 consecutive sentences. Don't do that. That generates reader fatigue faster than anything else that I know. It's repetitive, it's redundant, it's a third thing that means the same thing. You see what I mean? You gotta spice up your vocabulary. You gotta use alternative vernacular in order to maintain the reader's attention. Because case in point, I got distracted because we used the same word 3 fucking times. It's not a hard and fast rule, but like the fact that it already happened twice and I got annoyed by it maybe should kind of hint that you might not want to do that. He said, criticizing a piece of writing that's like 20 years old at this point, as if the author even gives a shit, because he's so far beyond needing writing criticism. Or maybe it's a localization issue. Anyway. Yes, you must learn to judge the value of the opportunity you have. However, I must point out that you are much better at discerning the boundaries between life and death than yesterday. As you develop a sense of danger, you will become more able to determine when to fight and strike on your own. Saber looks pleased. Unless it's my imagination, she seems happy to see her student improving a bit. It's almost time to rest. Shall I fetch you some water, Shiro? No need. As long as it's just water. I filled a whole kettle, so I'll just drink from that. I dragged my fatigued body towards the wall. After wiping the sweat from myself with a towel I brought along, I take several gulps from the kettle. I take a deep breath. It's been almost 3 hours since I saw Tosaka and Fujine off. I've spent every minute since sparring with Saber. As usual, Saber doesn't explain much, and I don't ask her any questions while we cross swords. I have pretty much no chance of winning, but I do seem to be moving better the more I fight Saber. I'm not expecting to improve my fighting techniques. The point here is to train my body, not my mind, to get accustomed to battle. It's better than doing nothing, and since I'm starting from basically nothing, there wouldn't be much point here unless I spend time working on this one thing. If all I do is think about how to fight when the time comes for me to face and master, I'm dead. Saber just doesn't even break a sweat, huh? I'm a little disappointed, but I shouldn't expect her to be on her level in just a day or 2. And just like yesterday, Saber rests, seated in a Seiza position. It'd be a waste to just sit here. I might as well take the opportunity to talk with her. Okay, then. Oh, and we get the other two questions that we didn't ask the other day. I feel like there's only one real answer here. I was tempted. I was tempted to switch it at the last second. Before she became a servant. I wonder what Saber was like when she was alive. Saber's so beautiful, so I'm sure everyone must have liked her. Calling her Saber is what's throwing me off, but I bet she was an ordinary girl who never held a sword back in the day. What in the world would give you that impression? So, Saber, what were you like before? I'm so curious I just blurt out what's on my mind without thinking, or even realizing I'm doing it. Come again? Did you say something, Shiro? It's nothing. I was just imagining what you were like. I'm not trying to find out your true name or anything, but I just wanted to know what your life was like. What kind of person I was. You are interested in the strangest things, Shiro. You can just ignore the question if you don't want to answer. It just kind of popped into my head. I know you're Saber, a servant, but I just thought you might have been a completely different person before you became a servant. That's right. I imagine she lived a peaceful life, as befits a lovely girl like her. I do not think that is true. One's personality does not change just because they become a servant. I was a knight who was handed a sword the moment I was born. There was never any other me, as you might have imagined. Seriously? And you've always been so harsh? That's no good. I kind of sympathize with the people who are around you. What do you mean by that? I may be stern, but I do not recall being harsh to those around me. That can't be true. Today's training taught me you're merciless. Look at this welt. I make one tiny mistake and you happily drive it in at every opportunity, you demon. I did not do it happily. It may be tough on you, but it would not be training if I were not strict. This is strange. I somehow never expected Saber to make a face like that. What does that look? I believe it is unfair for you to suddenly fall silent. Oh, I thought you would get mad like that, so you just kind of surprised me. Is that so? I thought I was only asserting my point. Yeah, but you're not usually so emotional, so that was new to me. Do you really think so? I was simply expressing what I believe. But those aren't your feelings, they're your beliefs. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that you never speak straight from the heart. Of course not. What is required from me is not my own personal opinion, but rather my opinion based on my standing and position. That is true even now. I am a servant, a saber. I will protect Shiro. There is no point in my saying anything unconnected with my purpose. And there is no sense in me thinking otherwise. That may be true, but that would be boring for you. You might have a role to fill, but that doesn't mean you have to devote yourself to that and nothing else. There are things you want to do too, right? As I said, my job is to protect you. You are inexperienced as a master to begin with, and so I am attempting to train you because you stubbornly insist you wish to fight in spite of my warnings. That may not be entirely true, but... Well, if you say so, then I guess it's okay. I feel like this conversation has softened Saber up a bit. She even looks more cheerful now. So, as not to ruin the moment, I decide not to press the matter. Well, we didn't really learn anything about her past after all, huh? The next thing I know, it's noon. It would seem to be lunchtime, Shiro. Yeah, it is. Both our stomachs growl in agreement. Let's eat. Is there anything you'd like to eat, Saber? Not in particular. I have been satisfied with each meal you have prepared thus far. Saber puts it kind of oddly. Well, at least she's not picky like Tosaka. I'll go do a bit of shopping. I'll probably come back the same time as yesterday, so rest in the living room until then. Yes, I will be waiting, Shiro. What's up, Clay? Welcome in. You haven't missed much. We tried to ask Saber about her past, but she more or less just said that she's always been the same way. We didn't learn anything about her story, though. And now it's lunchtime. I decided to try making shrimp balls for lunch. I've always wanted to try making them at home. They'll be piping hot balls of ground shrimp, a bit bigger than takoyaki. Oh, I've had takoyaki before. I didn't like it so much, but, you know, to each their own. I bought some mustard, and I'm all set with the snacks for our 3 o'clock snack time. I load my purchases onto my bike. That reminds me, I met Ilya here yesterday. She's not here today. Well, she probably shouldn't be coming here every day. Somehow not seeing her is disappointing, though. I haven't told Saber or Tosaka about meeting Ilya here yesterday. She didn't confront me as an enemy, and I'm hesitant to tell them about her in the first place. I like red bean sweets. I like red bean stuff. I like mochi. I really like mochi. Basically any flavor of mochi, actually, I really like. Just because she was here yesterday doesn't mean she'll show up today. So I really should get on my bike and... Ooh. Do we head straight back home and make lunch with Saber? Or do we swing by the park and see if Ely is there? I don't know why we're suddenly so concerned with Ilya, but... Could have some insight. Who's to say? Any opinions in chat? I'll wait. Is not an opinion. Yeah, I don't know. See, I wouldn't have given Ilya a second thought, but now that we've got the choice, I'm kind of curious what might happen if she even is at the park, which I assume she would be. Let's go find out. She's the creepy girl. Yeah, she's the little girl that we talked to last time. I'll just take the long way home. It's just about a 5-minute detour. I'm being whimsical here, and I don't need to make excuses about that. Whimsical. He's doing it on a whim. Pyro 7. Uh-oh. I park my bicycle. I step into the park, my groceries still on my bike. There's no music. Why? Am I doing this in the first place? It's just so impulsive of me. I just had the passing thought that it would be nice to see her. And then I see a silver-haired girl standing off on her own. She doesn't seem to have noticed me. If I wanted, I could just leave. But if I were going to do that, I wouldn't have come here in the first place. Who's there? It's just me, Shiro. Shiro? Is that really you? Is that really such a surprise? This park's close to the shopping district, so me passing by here isn't all that strange. I'm honestly more curious why you're here again. Do you have that much free time? Yep, you're exactly right. I don't really have anything else to do, so I came here to play, but Sela said I shouldn't see you. She said it'd be no fun to play with you because I'm going to kill you soon anyway. Oh, yeah, kind of forgot about that bit. Yeah, well, that. Whoa. Makes it pretty hard to come up with a response. But I don't think that's true, because being with you is fun. So I've been waiting here all this time, thinking I might meet you again. So I'm glad you came, Shiro. Wait a minute. Don't tell me you were waiting for me this whole time. Yep. It's been a real long time. I was thinking how nice it'd be if you came here. You dummy. I thought you didn't like the cold. If you want to see me, you should come to my place. Okay, maybe not. If you met Saber, that'd definitely lead to a fight. But still, there are plenty of other places you could have found me. You had no trouble finding me in the shopping district yesterday. No, I can't do that. I can't go and find you myself. I just broke the rules yesterday, just that once. So I decided to wait at a place I thought you might come, and I was right. Ilia skips around excitedly. Her bouncing silver hair makes her look like a winter fairy. I got that, but why do you want to see me in the first place? If just talking to you like yesterday is enough, I'm happy to do it again. Nope. I don't have anything in particular to talk about like yesterday. I just thought it would be nice to see you today. Besides, we're enemies. I'll come and kill you when the Holy Grail War is about to end, so we can talk then. Really? I can't get over how casually she says things like that. Just kind of adds layers to the tragedy, I guess. She says it so innocently. The disconnect between her words and manner is hard to swallow. Yeah, that's basically just what I said in different words. It's not that she's going to kill me so much as how unfitting it seems for her to be a master. Ilia, do you want to do that? Did you really choose to get involved in this Holy Grail War yourself? It's my grandfather's orders. I'm the best suited to be a master out of all the Ainsburns, since I possess a really big Holy Grail. Are we diving feet first into that, or? Well, That means you're doing it because your grandfather ordered you to. You didn't choose to be a master. What's up, Gugumesh? Thank you for the lurk. Maybe? I don't really remember, but I've been a master since I was born, so it only makes sense for me to fight. We're learning a little bit about the rules of Magecraft and the Holy Grail War that we didn't really... things that we assumed were not the case, but actually are. That's wrong. If you're just fighting because someone told you, you should stop. First of all, killing doesn't suit you. Yeah, you're too little for that. You're too little for murder. Oh, it doesn't sound like you're pleading for your life. I don't like the look on her face. I hate it when she looks at us like that. That scares me. You actually sound really worried about me, big brother. She keeps calling us that too. I wonder if there's anything to that. Clueless. Of course I am. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I hate the idea of someone like you fighting. If it were up to me, I'd rather see you quit being a master and go live a quiet life. I may consider it if you become my servant. If you did that, I wouldn't have to kill you. What the hell are you talking about? Do you really know what it means to ask me to be your servant? Besides, there's no way I could be a substitute for Berserker. I'm saying that you should stop fighting. I'm telling you to give up your servant, so why would you need me to be your familiar? Not a familiar, a servant. Servants are always with you, right? That's why I just need you to be by my side. Aww, that's kinda cute though. She just wants a big brother. Hold on a minute. Don't tell me... Does Ilya think... Let me ask you something. What is a servant, Ilya? Nichan seems to be a common... Yeah, that's it's a pretty common way for young people in Japan to refer to older people who are not, like, at the age where they could be their parent or their grandparent. Like you could refer, like, to an old man... A child might refer to an old man as Basan, which is like Gramps or old man. But they might refer to a marginally older, almost a peer as Nissan or Nasan to kind of... It's kind of like a respect thing, but also kind of like a playful bro type thing. Although there's also Aniki, which I think is more of like a playful kind of bro mentality. There's a lot of those in Japanese culture. Not necessarily honorifics, but like kind of pseudo honorific nickname type things. Yeah. They're mine, right? They're always by my side and they protect me. That's what grandfather told me. I knew it. Ilya considers servants to be just that. Command spells, masters, none of that matters. To her, a servant is just something that protects her. Got it. But no, I still can't. I can't agree to that, so think of something else. What? I'm not good enough for you? Do not piss off the little girl with the giant servant. Well, that's not about being good enough. It's just that... I'm worried about Ilya, but I know I can't be by her side 24/7 either. Ilya, I have Saber. And as a master, I need to stop other masters. So, I'm sorry, I can't be your servant. What? I made a concession because I was talking to you. You're going to pay for it. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? What you want? I don't wanna. Okay, wait, hold on, Ilya. We haven't finished. Stupid Shiro! You're the worst for embarrassing a girl. Chad, I think she's going to murder us. There she goes. Ilya just runs out of the park, not listening to me anymore. I try to follow her, but I can't find her. Yep. This is just like yesterday. I sigh and go back to my bike. Yeah, it would be more cute if she wasn't also the master of a gigantic murder machine. But I don't think she'll just suddenly attack again like when we first met that night. So I should probably have one more chance to convince her. Is that foreshadowing? Are we going to have another opportunity to encounter her and then deal with that? We finish eating lunch, then continue our training in the afternoon. I keep crossing blades with Saber, never getting tired of it. We keep training, and only plan to stop when Tosaka and Fujine come home. But our training is interrupted by the sound of the doorbell. Shiro, it appears you have a visitor. Yeah, I heard it. I'm gonna go get the door, so you stay here, Saber. No. It could potentially be an unwanted visitor, so I will accompany you just in case. Saber has a point. Thank you, Shiro, for listening to reason once in your goddamn life. Well, while she's right, if the visitor is just a neighbor, they might get suspicious of Saber. The neighbors do think I'm the only one living here. Then again... Well, I guess I'll deal with that if it happens. Sakura and Fujine already come and go freely, so there's no point in me worrying about the neighbors. Alright, come with me then, Saber. But if the visitor is just an ordinary person, keep quiet. I know. I am supposed to be your distant relative, correct? Yep, that's her story. Okay, coming. I rush to the entrance amid the sounds of incessant ringing. Somehow I can imagine Hercules in a too tight servant outfit. What? You picture him picking her up from school? Is that what you mean? Like putting on like a suit jacket and yeah, okay. Be like Piccolo in Dragon Ball Super Hero. You've seen that movie. He goes to pick up Gohan's daughter from school, Pan. And he just shows up being Piccolo. Just some big green guy. Pardon my intrusion. I heard you were not feeling well, so I came to visit, Emiya. Oh. It's not an enemy or a neighbor. It's a friend from school. Oh, it's just you, Issei. That's a pretty rude greeting. Is that really how you should receive a friend visiting out of concern for you? Even as Issei complains, he hands me a paper bag. What's this? Apples? A get well soon gift. Considering you hardly ever catch a cold and skip school, I thought I should at least bring something to make you feel better. Can we romance Issei? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm grateful for his concern, but unfortunately I didn't take a day off because I'm sick. And besides, a bag full of apples doesn't seem appropriate for a young guy like him to bring as a get-well-soon gift. Bromance? Bromance. Reminds me of Katawa Shoujo. What was the guy's name? There was like one male character that like, if you didn't romance any of the girls, you could just go hang out with him. His name might have been Shinji, actually. I don't remember exactly. But like, yeah, he actually had his own secret storyline where you just like hang out as bros. I love that shit. What's wrong, Emiya? Do you not like fruit? No, I do. It's a little complicated, but I really appreciate the sentiment. I bow to him to show my appreciation. We may do Katawa Shoujo in the future as well for a Mythos Monday, because it did receive a Steam release, which therefore disabled all of the H scenes and should be safe to play on Twitch, much like Tsukihime and Fate Stay Night. So, look forward to that in the future. Not in the near future, because we've still got plenty of this to get through, but could be fun. Emiya, this may be a silly question, but who is the woman standing behind you? Huh? Saber is standing just behind me. Oh. I get it. Issei must have locked eyes with Saber when I bowed to him. I've not seen her before. Why is a woman like her at your house? Issei gazes intently at Saber. He's extremely shy and always cold to new people and people he doesn't like. Well, her name's Saber, and I'm Shiro's distant relative. I got to know the former master of this house, Kiritsugu, when he was visiting overseas. I came here the other day to do some sightseeing, and I was allowed to stay here, given my connections with the family. Huh? Saber makes the story sound pretty convincing. So you're an acquaintance of Emiya's father, I see. I hear he loved traveling, so it's no surprise he'd befriend someone like you in his travels. What? Issei, who's supposed to be extremely bashful around strangers, accepts the story so easily. I see. I understand the situation now, Emiya. Your sickness was just an excuse. You've been showing her around, haven't you? Going teen anime romance, Shiro in love with Saber, Saber in love with Issei, and Issei in love with Shiro. That would be a very different story, but I'm in. I'd like that. That'd be funny. Be a very weird triangle. That'd be a very weird triangle. Oh, yeah, let's say that. Well, in broad terms, nothing I've said is entirely untrue, I think. Then you won't mind if I come on in. Go prepare some tea for me in appreciation for what I've done for you here. I'd also be happy to tell you about what has happened these past 2 days at school. Issei takes off his shoes and steps up into the house. What do you mean in appreciation? I'm still kind of busy, you know. We can chat another time. What are you talking about? You were the one who abandoned your bike outside our place. Oh, right. You did leave a bike up in Ryudo Temple. I forgot about that too. Right. And I brought back your bike. I'm busy as well, and yet I didn't go to the student council room. Instead, I went straight home, then brought your bike back here. Are you saying you cannot even offer me some tea after that? He's got us, chat. He's got us. He did do me a favor. I might have 3 bikes, but out of the 3 of them, the one I left at Ryudo Temple is the most expensive. And my favorite. Sorry, Saber. Can we take a little break? Saber nods silently. Thanks. Then you and Issei can head into the living room. I'll prepare some tea. Japanese tea for Issei, black tea for Saber. Am I also joining? I do not think that is appropriate. Surely you would not be able to have a casual conversation with your friend from school if I am present. That's not true, right, Issei? Girls may be chatty, but I do not mind you, Saber. A woman as humble as you is a precious asset, like a cultural heritage. See, I had an inkling that Issei and Saber would get along because they're both kind of uptight. So I figured they would both appreciate each other. Hear that? Okay, so go on ahead. Yes, I understand, but... What? Is something else bothering you? If you are to prepare tea, I would like Japanese tea as well. I do not mind green tea. Saber's fairly opinionated for some reason. It's odd, hearing her say that in her usual tone. After about an hour of meaningless chatter, Issei decides to head home. Most of the small talk in the living room was about school, and they asked a few sly questions to find out if anything unusual was going on. But it seems like business as usual. I'll see you. Will you be absent tomorrow too, Emiya? Yeah, I'm not going to school this week. Saber needs to be with me tomorrow too. They're both very diplomatic. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That was over rather quickly. I was expecting that to be a whole scene sitting at tea with those two. Well, it shouldn't be much of an issue if you're with her. There are a few suspicious aspects to this, but I've elected not to ask about any of it. Issei nods as if satisfied. Now that I think about it, how could such a shy guy warm so quickly and easily to Saber? Hey, Issei. This being your first time meeting Saber, you seem to be in a good mood. What's up with that? What a strange thing to ask. I grew up in a temple, so is it really that odd for me to be able to see the good and bad in someone? I do not know her background, but I saw that her spirit and soul are pure. She cannot possibly be a bad person. Bro got the soul read. Huh. I didn't know you could tell that kind of thing. I'm a little impressed. I normally can't, but even an amateur like me can tell when her spirit is on full display like that. Even a monk in training will notice the holy presence of a divinity standing right beside them. Simply put, Saber is just that beautiful and pure. You like Saber, don't you, Issei? Well, that's rare. Issei's praising a girl. The samurai guy was near the temple, right? Could he be his master? It doesn't seem that way. Because you would feel like he would kind of be a bit more confrontational about it. You would think that he might recognize Saber as a servant. Have we already ruled out Issei as a master? I think we did. I don't remember. I don't know. Suppose it's on the table, though. Got it. So you've taken a liking to Saber, too. That's good. I was worried Issei wouldn't like her because all she did was listen to us talking. Oh, yes, we did rule out Issei, actually, because of the witch. When Ryder talked about the witch living at the temple, Issei said he knew that she was a woman, but he didn't really know anything about her. So that kind of ruled out him as a master. Like, he doesn't really know what's going on up there. That's right, that's right. Of course, she's a good person. It would be hard to dislike her. Yeah, and I know she's a good person, even if she might be a bit aloof. Saber's always like that, so don't take that to mean she doesn't like you, Issei. She's aloof? Yeah, I've never seen her laugh before, and even when you and I were laughing pretty hard, she just kept looking stern. Actually, she was smiling pretty often. That's ridiculous. Sure, I've seen the occasional warm expression on Saber's face, but I've never seen her actually smile or laugh before. You're kidding me. I can't imagine Saber laughing out loud. No, it's not like that. She was smiling when she saw you smile. Didn't you notice? Huh? She was smiling when she saw me laugh? Was she doing that to make fun of me? Interesting. That's a pretty strange interpretation. But you know what? You really shouldn't worry yourself over something like that. Everything begins with questioning yourself. Cuts. Cuts is it's an expression. It's kind of like there's not really a decent English equivalent, but it's kind of like it's something that like monks in particular do, monks or instructors, kind of to emphasize a point. Often use it to end their sutras, yeah. Issei, priest's son that he is, ends with his usual catchphrase and leaves my house laughing. See, they kind of draw a bit of attention to it here. What's with him? He leaves me with his cryptic comments. Idiot. He could have at least said goodbye. The sun is setting, so today's training ends. I'm practically at my limit, and I still have magecraft lessons from Tosaka tonight. I failed to land a blow on Saber like I'd hoped, but I should save at least some energy for tonight. In sports, they also use it to mean victory. Oh, cool! That I didn't know. It seems like... Excuse me, that was a very loud swallow. That was... That was weird. I'm very self-conscious. Man, I really took a shot of pyro power just now. I didn't mean to do that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, it seems like we're kind of rushing through this day. Like, it's barely been an hour since we started streaming, so it's already, like, evening. It's also my turn to prepare dinner tonight. Saber went to wash up after me, so she won't be back for a while. I'm home! Oh, I see you're making dinner, Shiro. Good, good. Admirable. Fujine bursts into the living room, practically a bundle of energy, and immediately dives onto a cushion on the floor. Unlike Saber, who needs to sleep over half the day, Fujine is like this all day, every day. I bet it's no different when she's asleep. Taiga. Hey Shiro, can I have this apple? She's holding one of the many apples on the table. Sure, there are a bunch as you can see. Everyone should eat 3 a day. It seems a little like overkill to me, but sure. Really? Then let's make an apple pie. And by we, I mean you. Fujine takes a casual bite of the apple as she makes her suggestion. I had put some apples I'd already washed out on the table, but I guess she's not the sort to care. Wasting a get-well gift. Misunderstanding or no, shouldn't she be a little more considerate about the gift my friend gave me out of concern? For once, I should give her a piece of my mind. Oh, we've got a choice. We can we can prompt her for a big get well gift. That's more dangerous than the park. We can hide so that we don't have to make pie. I would, I would make pie. She said we should make an apple pie with these. I would go for that. I'd be all over that. I don't think I've ever made pie before. I've done some amateur casual baking, rarely from scratch, but on occasion. I don't think I've done pie though. I usually do like cookies or brownies or something. Cookies or brownies or cake. And really, only cookies and brownies have I made from scratch. If I've ever made a cake, I've made it out of a box. Cakes and biscuits. My brother likes to bake bread a lot, like we have a lot of bread. He won't stop making it. Anyway, we are going to take a quick ad break here, so give us time to debate our options on this definitely plot critical decision that we're going to make about apples. Bread is nice. I never attempted it though. It can be a bit touchy. It feels like he's never made the same loaf of bread twice. It can be a little touchy. But yeah, he's baked bread. He's baked like some kind of apple cake, apple bread cake. It's not really like a cake exactly. It's like, I don't know. It was some kind of apple treat. Somewhere, maybe somewhere like in between a tart and a cake. I don't remember what it was called. As as an Italian, as an Italian American, I should say, we have this thing called chicola bread. I don't think my brother's ever made it, but we do get around the holidays. We'll sometimes get. I think usually for like Thanksgiving or Easter, we'll usually get a loaf of chicola bread, which is dough kind of braided, uh, and inset in the dough are hard boiled eggs, and mixed in the dough before it's braided and turned into dough, like as an ingredient of the dough of the bread itself. You take like little meat shavings and kind of just sprinkle it into the bread, and that the between the shavings and like some of the animal fat that gets in there mixes into the bread, and then you bake it. Oh, it tastes so good. Chicola bread, phenomenal. Love that. Oh my god. I don't think we did it this past year. Oh, well, actually, I was at WeebCon this past year during Easter, so that's probably why. But that's probably why I didn't get any. Damn. I forgot I was at WeebCon. Man, WeebCon. Man, 2024 was such a year, dude. WeebCon and TwitchCon. I'm not planning on going to WeebCon again this year, but I'm hoping to go. I'm hoping to get to TwitchCon again. I'm hoping to get to TwitchCon like consistently every year from now on until forever. It sounds delicious with some olive oil. You don't even need to toast it, but definitely yeah, with some olive oil or some red sauce, that would be good. Yeah. Oh man, I'm hungry now too. Definitely got to eat dinner after this. Oh man. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to an East Coast con as well. I used to frequent Anime Boston before the pandemic. That was kind of the main convention that I would go to. I didn't go last year because it was on the same weekend as WeebCon, and I had already booked the flights and everything. So, and obviously I wanted to go to WeebCon instead of Anime Boston because, you know, I wanted to meet all the VTuber people who were going to be there, hang out with the Pyro Pups and all of that. That was a good time. AnimeCon on the 8th of February. Nice, cool, very cool. I don't think I have any coming up. Not that I know of. Ooh, actually, there's, what is it, Katsucon, I think, on the East Coast. I think that's in February, usually. I'm not sure. But then there's Anime Boston in either, that's usually like Easter weekend, so it's either March or April, depending on the year. Got Anime NYC, which I haven't been to, but my mod Tobias has been to. That's usually in like October, November, but I think it's as early as August. I think it's actually in August this year, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I think it was in September or October in 2024, but this year it's in August, and then TwitchCon was in September in 2024, and it's going to be in October this year. Weird. What other East Coast cons do we have that are like big? There's Holiday Matsuri in, I think, Florida, and that's like around Christmas time. Is that kind of it? Anime Boston, Anime NYC, Katsucon. I think that's kind of it. Those are the only ones that I really know of, I guess. Anyway, that's a nice tangent. There's a Dokomi in Germany, one in Paris, and TwitchCon, I think, in Amsterdam. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot TwitchCon EU. Yeah, I don't know. I've never traveled out of the country, and I don't think I really have the means to right now. I'll be able to afford TwitchCon San Diego again, but I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could swing international. Not sure I can attend those. I wish I could visit some con on the East Coast someday. That would be cool if you could get you out here, Clay. I wouldn't. I mean, don't. I don't have to bend over backwards for it. I know a lot of the cons that VTubers attend end up being either in the Midwest, like WeebCon, or WeebCon or some other con, I think, in the Midwest, or on the West Coast, like TwitchCon or OffKai or whatever. But at Anime NYC this past year in 2024, and in 2023 as well, they had a VTuber presence. But in 2024, they had like a much bigger VTuber presence. I think they even had like a HoloLive concert. So I'm hoping that in 2025, they'll maybe kind of branch out and reach out to some more indie VTubers. In particular, Cinder, because I know she talks a lot about wanting to go to East Coast cons because she lives on the East Coast, unlike a lot of her friends who have an easier time getting out to West Coast cons because they're already out there. And I would appreciate hanging out on the East Coast cons because that cuts down on my travel time too. I used to frequent Anime Boston. Like I know I could probably get there blindfolded. Probably not, but you know what I mean. Would be nice. So I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that they lean more into VTubers. I'm hoping that they've got a lot of positive feedback from when they did have HoloLive and stuff. Because I know a lot of people. I remember seeing a lot of people on Twitter kind of complaining about it. People who wanted anime stuff, not VTuber stuff. But I hope there were strong voices on both sides because I'd love to see more VTuber representation on the East Coast in general, if not necessarily just at Anime NYC. Anyway, let's nag her about a get well gift. I stop prepping for dinner and take off my apron. By the time I've washed my hands and made it to the living room, Fujine's apple is gone. Fujine, did you eat the apple? Yep, it was nice and sweet. Tart, too. Glad to hear that. Then it's your turn. I'll take whatever you got me in exchange for what you just ate. Huh? what I got you? Like the tangerine? I'm not going to ask how you arrived at that conclusion. I'm just going to ask you to show me what you got me for today. I hope you didn't forget what you said this morning as you were leaving. Plan on bringing VTuber culture to my area. Hopefully you get a booth there. Yeah, that would be awesome, bro. I'm rooting for you, Clay. Hell yeah. Yeah, snag yourself a booth. Show off some of that art. Hell yeah. Be the change you want to see. Fuck yeah, bro. Yes! Go for it, dude. Hell yes. Love that. That's so fucking cool. Hell yeah. How rude. Of course I didn't forget. See, I have it right here. Fujine drops a suspicious-looking paper bag on the table, and its contents spill out. Well, that's unexpected. I actually have trouble believing Fujine managed to remember a promise she made. What even is that? I feel like this isn't anything I would... No matter how I look at it, it just looks like a mound of trash. Well, a mound of stuffed toys. These Aztec stone masks for you, Shiro. Your room's pretty sparse, so I thought it might liven things up a bit. An Aztec stone mask? Is that a motherfucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference? Anyway. I don't know if it actually is or not, but that's a pretty specific thing to bring up. A stone mask. She hands me a heartwarming but somewhat scary-looking sun mask. Sun mask? It's called a sun mask? Is that a motherfucking JoJo's reference? We're... I think maybe I'm having a little too much fun here. It's about the size of a handball and stuffed with cotton. Fujine, were these all from a crane game? Yep, I worked really hard trying to get them. I spent 2 hours, and in the end, a worker took them out for me. So she didn't even win them. Some poor mechanic guy took pity on her. The lady, you've spent $3,000 on this machine. Please, just take a prize and go home. She's laughing bashfully, but I'm scared to think how much blood was shed in the process. So there's also a Chinese dragon, a bat, a crab, a cow, a rhinoceros, a snake, and a soldier. Fujine gleefully sorts out the pile of stuffed toys. A few spill off the table, and the living room quickly grows cluttered with them. It's messy, but Fujine seems to be enjoying herself, so I don't have the heart to stop her. Fine, I'll take them. I want you to clean it up after you organize them. Yep, I know. I turn back to the kitchen, the stuffed toy in hand. And then... I see Saber at the entrance to the living room. She must have just passed by. She looks irritated. Saber doesn't say a thing. She just glares into the living room. Saber? Did you take your bath already? Yes, it was very nice. After answering my question, Saber heads into the living room, almost like a sleepwalker. Fujine's a treasure. Yeah... She's a weird one. But she's a treasure. Very, very unique treasure. Saber walks towards the table and stops abruptly in front of one of the stuffed toys. Taiga, is this doll supposed to be a lion? Yeah. Yeah, looks like it. That's supposed to be a baby lion. It's happening. Saber stares silently at the stuffed animal. Is this doll yours, Taiga? Like those other dolls. They are. Do you want one, Saber? You can have one if you like. Fujine's offer is made with a light-hearted smile. Oh, what the heck is Fujine thinking? Saber's obviously in a bad mood, so why is Fujine asking something so ridiculous? Besides, there's no way Saber would want something like that. Do you want it? I don't really have any use for it, so you're welcome to it, Saber. Fujine picks up the stuffed lion, not noticing Saber's distaste. Saber takes it and... if I may. She hurries forward and takes it eagerly. My mind locks up. What the hell am I seeing? Saber takes the completely useless doll and clutches it against her chest as if it were truly precious. Look at it! Look at the baby! That's so cute! Aww. She likes her stuffy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Taiga. It's fine. It's not a tiger. That's a bit of a weird thing to throw out there, Fujine. But this is a surprise. I didn't know you liked that kind of thing, Saber. Yes, I have always longed for small, cute things. Stop, my heart's melting. I had precious few opportunities to hold such things. Aww, and now I'm sad. As she speaks, Saber looks down at the stuffed lion in her arms. How can I describe her face right now? What was that? I just had the weirdest thought. Do you like lions, Saber? Are we rivals? Saber silently nods in affirmation, all while she continues to smile down at the stuffed animal. It's not that I like lions, but I do have a connection with them. I once took care of a lion cub, and I remember being so happy that it bonded with me. Since then, I have had a special place for lions in my heart. Saber the Lionheart. I think that's a different serpent. By nature, I am associated with dragons. A lion cub, huh? Aren't lion cubs like cats? Doesn't that mean they bite, scratch, and jump? I feel like tiger cubs would be kind of the same thing, but... that's none of my business. Yes, it was certainly energetic. I only took care of it for 1 month, but I would have liked to care for it till the end. I see. But it's tough. Lions get really big, so you can't take care of one in an ordinary house. So you had no choice but to let it go. Fujine nods her understanding. Saber is still looking at the stuffed lion. I'm not sure what kind of spell it cast on her. But something I shouldn't know or be able to see flashes through my mind. It has to be just some kind of dizzy spell. But I can't shake the image. It's one of her memories. This is something that really happened. I see an image of Saber rubbing her cheek against the cub. but I'm not sure if this is just some fleeting vision. The only thing I know is that I would regret shaking off the sight of it. The strange vision immediately disappears. My heart is still racing. The vision I glimpsed remains in my head like a scar that will never fade. Yeah, they got some weird memory link thing going on. I think it's the first we've seen of it. I finished preparing dinner. It's past 7. Saber and Fujine are in the living room, and Tosaka, who's usually here by now, isn't. Hope nothing's happened to her. I don't think Tosaka is the type to get into trouble, but I also know she sometimes makes huge mistakes. I guess I'll go check it out. If it's just looking around the house, I should be fine alone. I head out to the hallway. As I'm about to leave the house, Tosaka walks in wearing her coat. Right, she said she had to stop by her house. I am home. What, greeting me with your apron on? It's a good look for you. Tosaka jokes casually, but her face is completely expressionless. That's scary. People who can joke like that with such a straight face are the most terrifying sort of people. Tosaka, what were you... The moment I try to ask her what happened, I spot blood on her hand. It's a small blood stain, and her index finger is swollen. Does that mean... Tosaka, I have a bad feeling, and I can't keep it quiet. What? I'm not listening if it's stupid. Actually, did you maybe punch somebody? Bingo. I gave that annoying Shinji a piece of my mind. At the end of my fist. Go get his ass, Curly Bob. Hell yeah. Fuck Shinji. Tosaka huffs and passes right by me. Okay, so she gave him a knuckle sandwich. Then the bloodstain and swollen finger would make sense. Hey, wait! Hold up. What do you mean you hit Shinji, Tosaka? Why were you interrogating me about this? He pissed me off, so I beat him to a pulp. To a pulp? What do you mean with your fists? You did it with your bare fists? Bare as can be. Bare like a grizzly. Tosaka snorts again. I'm not saying I'm into getting beaten up by pretty women, but maybe I am saying that. A brief silence. I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. An awkward silence stretches between us. Let me get back to the point. You said you punched Shinji. Why did you have to do that? He deserved it. He was saying things like I should team up with him and that I should abandon Shiro because he's useless. She's a swollen finger, don't scold her, bring some bandages. Fair. Bandages without the swelling. We kinda just gotta let it be. Some ice, maybe. He wanted to talk to me about a bunch of stupid stuff, so I had to quiet him down. By punching him. Isn't that short-sighted even for you, Tosaka? Or maybe Shinji said something so stupid that he actually pissed Tosaka off, even though she's usually so level-headed. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm the victim here. I think that goes both ways. But why would Shinji talk to you about something like that? He asked me if I wanted to team up with him. Who knows? He might actually think of you as competition. He's been acting pretty weird ever since I told him we were living together. What? You told him we were living together? You told Shinji about us? Of course I did. Yesterday morning, Shinji called me up to tell me, all proud, about how he became a master, like some sort of hotshot. It kind of pissed me off, so I told him you were a master too. I thought I put him in his place, but then I found him waiting outside the house just now. This just happened? He's outside? Right now? Hello? So I told him that I'm living at your house, and that I had no intention of working with a half-assed master like him. Do you think that was bad? Yeah, that's pretty bad. Shinji was already smitten with Tosaka, so what she told him is just adding fuel to the fire. Well, but still, now it all makes sense. I figured out why Shinji's been hostile only towards Tosaka, and why he's being so persistent about asking her to team up with him. Meaning he... That's strange. Why would he be so obsessed with me? A guy like him would never think about working with anyone. Actually, it's because Rin is special to Shinji. Nothing strange about any of this. I think you're special to Shinji. He's originally from a mage family, right? I think he admires you, since you're also from a mage family, but you still have power and a proper lineage. He might attack you before Berserker? True. That's why he's so persistent with Tosaka. I think Rin's been a target for Shinji's affections since long before the Holy Grail War started. What? Well, yeah, I'm flattered that he likes me, but... It must have been a real surprise. Tosaka looks completely bewildered. Now that you mention it, Shinji asked me out when we were first years. Oh, yeah? For a moment, her expression as she realizes what she'd obviously forgotten is almost comical. I sympathize with Shinji just now. Whoa, no wonder he's so persistent. Finally get it. Well, whatever. So, how did you reply? Oh, I guess I rejected him. I'll have you know that I have to be the first to win. If I'm going to do something, it needs to be my own idea, and if someone challenges me to do something, I don't really feel up to it. Tosaka thinks really hard, but she's acting as if she doesn't really remember. I'm astonished. She might be entirely driven by her emotions. Tosaka, I bet you're really bad at rock, paper, scissors. What? How do you know that? I knew it. She likes to make the first move. She's probably not great when she has to react to someone else. That's a stupid observation, but it's funny. Use a soy sauce for that, Saber. Don't you dare try putting mayonnaise on it. If you say so. I witnessed Taiga doing it, so I thought I should try it as well. Fujin is just clowning around. She's hardly a good role model, so be careful from now on. Is that so? I was referencing Sakura before, and you took no issue with that, so... Well, I'm not mad about it. I took the time to make the meal, I just want you to enjoy it. So, back to our conversation. Shiro, another helping. Fill my soup bowl up. Give me a bit of everything. Got it. What about you, Saber? We trained harder than usual today, so you might be hungrier. Not especially. But just to be sure, I will take another serving. Got it. If I find you woke up in the middle of the night and raided the fridge because you were too hungry to sleep, I might die of shock. Why would you bring that up? That wasn't me. It was some burglar who came in and raided the fridge. I don't believe that for a second. Then go tell that burglar to eat her vegetables as well as meat. And tell her not to eat all the dessert in the fridge, if that's what she was really after. Honestly, you're not like a hungry wild beast or anything. What did you just say? Don't call me a tiger! Oh, I didn't say anything about you. Ow! Who in the right mind would throw a piping hot daikon radish at me, you idiot? Girl is literally just standing here. Tigers like me for real, meat and desserts. Yeah. True. Shiro, it appears a pot in the kitchen is boiling over. Yeah? Oh, hold on, Fujine. I need to turn the fire off. Very well. Hurry up and bring the soy sauce braised chicken and an egg. On it. I'm leaving Fujine in your hands, Saber. Yes, please do not rush. Focus on cooking, Shiro. I get up. Oh, that reminds me. Why has Tosaka been so quiet this whole time? Tosaka, are you not liking dinner? It's not that. It's nothing, so don't talk to me. She turns her head away grimly. She's not the type to dwell on things like Shinji for so long, so there must be something else bothering her. She grumpy. Fujine goes home, satisfied, after dinner. Saber and Tosaka are in the living room. At first, that had been awkward, but after training with Saber for the last 2 days, it doesn't feel that way anymore. Saber, you can go to bed. I'll do the rest. No, I will stay awake until you go to sleep. I would also like to hear from Rin about your skills in magecraft. She can't hold her chopsticks because of her swollen finger. That would have been... Oh, yeah, that would have been kind of cute. Poor baby. Got it. Then let's go to Tosaka's room early. You don't mind, Tosaka? No, I don't mind. I have to say, you sure have gotten friendly with Saber. And... Huh? For some reason, Tosaka says this with the same miffed tone she had when we were eating dinner. I'll be waiting in my room, so come by after you finish cleaning up. And I'll take the day off school tomorrow, too. Come to my room in the afternoon. She's jealous. Shiro, what did you do to Rin? She seems to be very angry. You think that too, Saber? I don't know. I don't think I've done anything to make her mad. Saber and I face each other and tilt our heads. We have no idea why Tosaka's so angry. Okay, try to strengthen this lamp for starters. This is the Saber route, yes. We cannot access the Arena and Sakura routes until we finish the Saber route, so we're locked in. You just need to reinforce the glass. Tosaka hands me an old-looking lamp. I sit on the floor. I cup the lamp with my hands and take a deep breath. Tosaka says it like it's so easy, but I'm all tense from nervousness. I've been trying this every night, but with the success rate below 0.1%. Tosaka says she wants to see what I can do to measure my skill. There's nothing to measure if my strengthening doesn't work in the first place. I try to shake off any distractions. Right now, I need to focus on the lamp. The blueprint of the lamp pops into my head. The material of the glass, its composition, the flow of its power. I can see it as if it were a network of blood vessels. Then all I have to do is infuse my magical energy into those vessels. I just have to do what I always do. The sensation of a burning metal rod sliding down my spine. All I have to do is let that burning nerve into myself, however much it shouldn't exist in a human body, and let it fuse with me. As long as that works, all I have to do is pour the right amount of magical energy into the glass. Oh. It shatters. I couldn't control myself, and I ended up using more magical energy than I should have, and the glass shattered. I looked timidly at Tosaka. Figured. I was afraid this might be the case, and it is. What do you mean, Tosaka? Excuse me, big yawn. Isn't it obvious? I was absolutely baffled by your lack of skill. First of all, you don't even understand the basics. Honestly, I'm impressed you can produce any magical energy at all with a method so completely absurd. Tosaka, are you mad? Of course I'm mad. I can hardly believe you've been training when you have such basic problems. And I kind of want to kill your mentor for not correcting you. Joke's on you, he's already dead. Now, why are you doing it in such a roundabout way? I get it, but don't badmouth my old man. It's my own fault that I don't have talent. He's got nothing to do with it. He has everything to do with it. A teacher's job is to correct the student's errors, and he took you on as an apprentice. I know it's pointless to take it out on someone who's not here anymore, but your teacher got the first step wrong. Tosaka, clearly still angry, takes something that looks like a can out of her bag. It looks like a can filled with colorful hard candy, the sort of thing children overseas might like. I've seen similar containers in Japan, too. They hold a variety of different flavored candies. The white ones are mint. Shiro, hold out your hand. I do as she asks. Tosaka shakes out the can, and a red candy pops into my hand. Here, swallow this. What? Again, I do as she asks. It's not sweet. Actually, it has no flavor at all. The texture is more like rock than candy. I force myself to swallow it. Oh, ouch! My throat's tingling. What was that, Tosaka? What do you mean? It's a jewel. Couldn't you tell? She says it so casually. But it's totally outrageous. What? A jewel? Why? I couldn't help it. I had some medicine too, but that won't work if I want to correct you. I figure I need to use the strongest possible options to open up your switch. That's not my point. Why did you make me swallow a jewel? I can't digest that. You know, if you're going to worry, you should worry about other stuff. That wasn't an ordinary jewel. What I gave you just now is a compulsory learning device, since you don't know anything at all. It's going to start melting soon, so brace yourself, or you'll faint. You say that like I'm going to faint so casually. Just as I say that, it starts to get weird. What? My body is burning. My limbs are starting to go numb. Heat builds up in my back in a flare of what I can only describe as pain. I furrow my brow and try to concentrate, or I know I'll fall over. Don't she infuse her blood in those? She sure does. Along with other bodily fluids, potentially. Moving on. You...
Oh my
What
God.
did... I know. I know this feeling. This is the feeling of failure. This is my body reacting to when it fails to construct a magic circuit inside me. It's okay. It might be painful, but it should slowly ease up as long as you can maintain this state. Though the heat could last for 2 or 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. I really want to respond, but I can't stay composed enough to do it. All I can do is muster the strength to stay balanced so I don't topple over. Listen, the difference between a mage and a human is the presence or absence of a switch. You already know that this switch is for turning the magic circuit on and off. See the electric kettle over there? Mages are like that. Ordinary humans are just regular kettles that can't boil water on their own, but they can at least keep it warm. That's what we are. Similar, but different. The difference is in whether someone has a switch to boil the water or not. The moment we are born with it, or rather the moment it's made, is when we are separated into electric kettles and plain insulated bottles. Anyone who doesn't have this switch won't ever be able to experience magecraft. You see, you might be an amateur, but you do have a magic circuit. That means you have an affinity for it. It's why, once you've created a magic circuit inside you, all you have to do is use the switch. You're just toggling the switch on and off to produce magic energy. I'd calm my breathing. Just as Hosoka said, so long as I maintain my composure, things don't get worse. You only have to make a magic circuit once, but all this time you've been creating a magic circuit from scratch and incorporating it into yourself every time you use it. And that's such a waste. Once you've created the circuit inside yourself, even once, all you have to do is turn it on or off. Normally, those who have created a magic circuit would be trained in how to turn it on and off next. But your mentor didn't do that, so you've been risking your life creating a magic circuit every time. Of course, your father may have been misinformed too. I exhale. Sensation is starting to return to my limbs. Since you have been training the wrong way for so long, your switch is closed, which means all I can do is force it open and make your body understand it has a switch. Does that mean he has many? I'm not sure. It seems like she's implying that he'll create a magic circuit, use it, and then destroy it afterwards. So then he goes back to zero, but I'm not sure if I'm following that properly. You see, that jewel you swallowed forces that switch on. So you'll be like this forever unless you can use your own strength to turn it off and return to your normal state. If you can do that, you won't need the help of the jewel. After that, you should be able to control your magic circuit with somewhat simple mental commands. I get that, but... Can't we do something about this burning sensation? She keeps telling me to turn off this switch, but how the hell am I supposed to do that? You can already talk? Well, I guess you're good at controlling yourself. You might get back to normal faster than I thought. As for the switch itself, your body will naturally try to turn it off to calm down and get comfortable as quickly as it can. All you have to do is will that process to speed up. Easy, right? It's not. I don't get it. You say there's a switch, but it doesn't feel real to me. You might think that right now, but eventually you'll be able to form a really clear image. It'll be like a button in your mind. All you have to do is press it. It should open your magic circuit. Easy as that. I hope so. I just feel sick right now. I figured you would. You've always closed your magic circuit after using your strengthening mage craft, right? Now you're doing the opposite, opening your magic circuit up. It's like you're running full speed this whole time, so of course it's tough. But that's all part of being a mage. If you're going to fight as a master, turning the switch on and off will be a huge help to you. I know. You took me by surprise, but I appreciate what you did. You're right. Once I grasp the idea of this switch, it'll help a lot. So you do understand. Don't need to thank me, though. You're my ally, so I'm only doing this because I can't afford you to be weak forever. Totsuka huffs and looks away. Maybe it's because my body's all warm, but dazed as I am, I find myself thinking that Totsuka might just be a good person. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Nothing. I just thought you weren't really being honest. I see. You must have a lot of spare energy if you can manage to be so flippant right now. If you're fine, then you won't mind me continuing, right? Totsuka grins wickedly and draws closer. Hold on a minute. I still can't move a muscle, so what is she... Hey! Try doing your strengthening mage craft again. You might not be able to control your magical energy right now, but you'll be no use in battle unless you can get used to being in this state. It's okay. I brought a ton of lamps. I don't know how many times you're going to fail, but I'm not going to let you rest until you succeed in strengthening. What does flippant mean? It means like kind of casual or dismissive. She smiles, and even though I can hardly move, she hands me a lamp. Totsuka, this is brutal. It's like forcing someone to walk a tightrope while they have a 40-degree fever. That probably makes more sense to you, Clay, than it does to me. 40 degrees. If you're 40 degrees Fahrenheit, you're dead. In French, it would mean to act in a scary fashion. Huh. Interesting. I can see that there's some connection there, but it's interesting that there's a very different connotation to it. Cool. Cool to know. Yeah, a fever... I think what baseline temperature in Fahrenheit is... Was it 98.6? So a fever would be anything above that. Usually, if you're sitting at 100 degrees, yeah, you can't really do much, and more than that, 100 degrees, 102. I think once you hit like 104 or 106, that's like life-threatening. That's like you gotta like sit in an ice bath or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit is your normal operating temperature. Fun fact, I personally operate at a slightly lower temperature than that. My average is closer to, if you can believe it, closer to like 96 or 95. Yeah, 100 Celsius is water boiling point, and then 0 Celsius is water freezing point, right? In Fahrenheit, we have 32. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing. And then I think it's 212 degrees is boiling. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Celsius makes a lot more sense when measuring like water or chemicals, I guess, but Fahrenheit, because I grew up measuring stuff in Fahrenheit, it just kind of makes more sense to me for weather or body temperature or stuff like that. Honestly, I didn't think I'd give up before you did. Tosuka glares at me. Her penetrating stare is accusing. Sorry? I underestimated you. I never imagined you would destroy all 30. Sorry, but that's it for today's training. We don't have anything else left to measure your skill at strengthening. Come on, at least I tried. I tried hard, even though my body was burning up like I'd been thrown into a boiling kettle. I tried, but in the end, I didn't manage to succeed in my magecraft a single time. You know, if it's just the glass that's broken, you can fix it. I saw you fix the broken window in my house the other day. I can't. That window got broken normally, but these lamps broke because it couldn't hold all your magical energy. It's much harder to work with things infused with someone else's magical energy. Remember that, okay? Is the jewel that Shiro swallowed infused with your magical energy? Maybe that's why shit's fucked up. Yeah? That's right. Go ahead and rest, Shiro. I'd call this a win since I managed to trigger your switch. Once you're able to control it, I'll teach you the rest. I appreciate the chance to rest, but what else are you going to teach me? You can only do strengthening magecraft, right? You said that's all you can do, so I might be able to kick it up another notch and teach you alteration magecraft. Have you been taught what strengthening, alteration, and projection magecraft are? I have, a little. Strengthening is, as the word suggests, used to strengthen something. Most people typically think of strengthening as just making something harder, but it actually involves enhancing an object's attributes and effects. A sword gets sharper, a lamp glows brighter, and so on. Alteration doesn't need much explanation. For example, you can't start a fire using blades. Alteration is when some ability beyond the object's usual trait is imbued into it. And then projection is... Wait, what is projection again? I remember my old man saying that a word a lot, but... You know what strengthening and alteration are, right? Then I think you can imagine what projection is. Simply put, it's magecraft that can replicate things. Unlike strengthening and alteration, projection isn't a magecraft that imbues an object with something. It's essentially a magecraft that constructs something from nothing, using only your own magical energy. It's one of the most difficult disciplines. This is what they call foreshadowing, Jen. Oh, but do you know that magical energy is disposable, right? Anything you create with projection will quickly disappear. If you project a sword with 10 times the magical energy you use to strengthen an existing sword, the strengthened sword will be stronger. Strengthening augments something, so it's efficient. On the other hand, projection uses way too much magical energy, so it's not really used all that often. Oh, I remember now. My old man said something similar. He said it wasn't worth it, so I shouldn't pursue it. Exactly. Now, if you're done asking questions, let's call it a day. You seem shaky on your feet, so I can help you back to your room. Tosuka helps me to my room, and Saber is waiting for me by the veranda corridor. Good work, both of you. I don't even have the strength to answer. I just nod in thanks and head into my room. I feel like his mentor was training him for something specific. Might be onto something. How is Shiro doing, Rin?
ダメ。
Bad.
すっごくダメ。
Really bad.
あいつ才
He
能
doesn't
ない
have the
わ。
talent. It's a typically merciless Tozuka response. And the next thing I know, I'm staring up at the night sky. Tonight, I'm not trying to run away because I'm anxious around Saber. I'm just trying to let the night wind cool my burning body, and to think about what Tozuka taught me. Once I can use my switch, then it'll be time to think about the next steps. If I can't even manage this simple task of strengthening, I don't know what the future might hold for me. I try to infuse magical energy into a wooden plank I dragged out from the shed as I mumble to myself. A cracking sound echoes up to me. The plank cracks and my strengthening fails. I can see its structure fine, but I don't understand why I can't control my magical energy. Tozuka said I was putting too much power into it. She even said that I should just use small amounts of magical energy and just focus on reinforcing the object's weak points. So she's basically telling me to take it easy. I want to Google so much stuff. We'll get there. Have patience. I mean, if you really want to get spoiled, then I can't stop you, but... She doesn't have to remind me. Problem is, I can't manage to ease up. If only there was a good way to relax. The sound of barely audible footsteps just reaches my ears. This is the second time I've sensed that presence. What? I don't need anything from you. The feeling's mutual. Green, however, is apparently concerned about you. You can't just sit by and do nothing about that. I throw the plank away, glaring at Archer. Archer seems curious about the plank. He picks it up. Strengthening magecraft, huh? Pretty pathetic quality too, I might add. What? Yeah, I know I'm not a fully trained mage. I feel bad for making your master take on extra work for me. No, that's not it. Even Rin is mistaken on this matter. Yeah? What do you mean? Applying new traits to something that already exists. That's just wishful thinking. You aren't skillful enough to do something like that. He's just saying whatever he wants, but I can't think of a response. He's right. I know I'm not skilled, and it's my own fault I can't do magecraft properly. There's no point in taking it out on him. What's wrong? You were more spirited last night. Shut up. I'm just not saying anything because you're right. It's all my fault for not being good enough. I huff and look away. I don't know how he interpreted that, but... in a way, I think you've been cursed with poor mentors. Archer almost sounds impressed for a moment. That's not true. My old man and Tozuka are good teachers. I'm the one who can't learn. That's exactly it. You're better off with a mage who has no talent. Geniuses will never understand the struggles of ordinary people. Green is far too brilliant to understand the mistakes a failure like you is making. I don't really get what Archer's trying to say. I don't get it, but if I had to guess... I don't get it. Are you just trying to pick a fight? If so, bring it on. Another mistake. You're not fit for fighting, Shiro Emiya. Your battle is supposed to be a mental one, a fight against your own self. They say a mage's battle is a mental one. I already know that. But if we're gonna fight, it should be with our fists. Honestly, you're making things pretty hard on Saber. Archer despises me from the bottom of his heart. I've never really seen his eyes like this. They seem filled with real disappointment and anger. I'm only going to say this once, so listen carefully. You haven't got a prayer of winning once the battle starts. None of your skills are worth a damn against servants. Harsh. You're a wizard, Shiro. Reen's a sorceress. It's a pretty accurate representation. Saber already told me that. I won't win in a battle. No matter what grand scheme I try, I have no chance of victory. Then at least imagine it. If you can't possibly beat the opponent in reality, then beat them in your imagination. If you can't win yourself, imagine something that can win. It's all you can really do. I don't know why, but Archer's words strike a chord with me. My heart's telling me not to forget them. More than anyone else, I know I should never forget what this man's saying. What a joke. I can't believe I'm giving advice to someone I should be killing. I guess a bit of Reen's softness has rubbed off on me. All of a sudden, Archer disappears. Archer's supposed to be keeping watch. He must have gone back to the roof, where he can do that best. Alright, we've got ads again, so I'm going to take another short break. Although it does appear we are rapidly approaching the end of the night. This may in fact be the last line. I'm not sure. Be a long 3 minutes for a short ending sequence, though. I'm very hungry, chat. I have not eaten a lot of food today. Oof. Back just popped. Everybody stand up and stretch. Arch is the one who does the unlimited blade works that much. I know he can create blades from nothing, like he was saying. Yes. That's what he was hinting at just now, was projection magic. If you can't win, imagine something that can win, and make that with projection magic. Don't take a sword and make it stronger. Make something that is a sword that can win. Grab a snack. I think we're gonna be finishing up soon, so I'll once we wrap up stream, I'll go and make myself some dinner, I think. Yeah, he's trying to hint at Shiro that he should in fact be focusing on projection magic rather than ignoring it like both Rin and Kiritsugu told him to. It's just that because Kiritsugu and Rin were both skilled mages, they don't understand the creative capacity of projection magic. You don't have to make something practical. You can make something that's completely impractical, but serves exactly the niche purpose that it needs to win you whatever fight you're in. Alright, ads should be over, so now we're moving on. What's with him? I complain to the empty air. Naturally, there's no response. While Archer's words echo in my mind, the cold air blows over my flushed body. Yeah, okay, I was right. That was the last line. That's it. That's the end of the. That's the end of the chapter. All right then. And there you have it. Day 8, complete. It definitely felt like a shorter episode today, but that's okay. I do want to keep it on track. I don't want to start another one right now. I'd rather keep it on track, and then that way, once we get to Monday the 10th, it will actually be February the 10th. In real life. Hi, Mezzine, you actually... I hate to break it to you, but you just missed it. We just hit the end of the chapter. It was another pretty quiet one, though, so if you want to go back and watch the VOD at some point, it'll be a relatively cozy one. Yeah, it was a little shorter. It was a little shorter than last time. I think last time was a decent 3 hours. This one was a little less than 2, as it turned out. But yeah, had some cute character interactions. That was pretty good. But like I said, I am really hungry. I should definitely go put some food in me. And on that note, see if I can send you guys off on a raid somewhere. Let's take a look at who's doing what tonight. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. I didn't know she was streaming today. We're gonna go say hi to Sirchu. Sirchu is, well, actually, I didn't realize, but I did kind of know Sir through Kyo, who I think we rated on one occasion. Kyo Kokoko usually streams a little bit later than I stop streaming, so I've had very few opportunities to raid Kyo. But I interacted with Seer on Twitter recently, and we're hoping to queue up in some Marvel Rivals together at some point. Maybe this coming Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know what her schedule looks like, but she seems very cool. She likes playing Jeff and Hulk, and she'll fill pick. I don't know. I'm excited to maybe collab on that because she seemed very enthusiastic about it, and I definitely want to play more Wolverine. I will become the world's best Wolverine one-trick. I have been losing most of my ranked games, but it's definitely not my fault. Y'all should see me. I be sneaking onto points and shit. I'll be capping points and helping games. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with the big Fox vs. Wolves collab, unless something changes. Join the Discord to stay up to date. But until then, be nice, have fun, and I will see you guys